Hello guys, I'm going to skip the part where I try to hook you and be like, guys, 99% of traders fail. And in this video, I'm going to introduce something really important that is going to change your life. And then you guys get hooked and you get hypnotized and you stay here till the end of the video because I hooked you in the beginning of the video. Let's skip that part and get right into it, okay? Now, before we start, quick disclaimer, guys. There's a lot of Discord and Instagram accounts that resemble my username. That is not me, okay? I will never message you first and be like, hello, my child. How's your trading going? Oh, your trading is going bad? Let me help you. Let's do business together. I will never message you first, okay, guys? So therefore, that is not going to happen. Please be aware. The only way to apply to my mentorship is through the link in the description. That's it. I will never message you about it. Anyway, coin flip system. I know this is not what you guys expected because you were like, 99% of traders fail. I want to know why. Now, we're going to get there. Be patient. Just, I need to explain this for you to understand my point. Let's say me and you right now, we decide to play a stupid game. And we're like, okay, let's play a game where we flip a coin. If it lands on heads, I give you $100. If it lands on tails, you give me $100. Okay, let's play that game. And then we decide to flip the coin 1,000 times. Now, because me and you, we both have a brain, we can estimate that after 1,000 flips, it is going to land 500 times on heads and 500 times on tails, right? Because the win rate of a flipping system is 50%. So 50% of the times it's going to land on heads, 50% of the times it's going to land on tails. And therefore, at the end of our small exercise right here, none of us are going to make money. We're going to be around BE, me and you. I'm going to give you $100 500 times. You're going to give me $100 500 times. And therefore, we are not going to be making any money. Now, of course, as we flip the coin, in the middle of us flipping the coin, it is not going to be very mathematical, like 50%. That means that I flip a coin, it lands on heads. Then I flip a coin, it lands on tails. Then I flip it again, it lands on heads. Then I flip it again, it lands on tails. Like, it's not very mathematical, like 50%. One time head, one time tail, one time head, one time tail. No, there's going to be losing streaks and winning streaks, head streaks and tail streaks. And therefore, I'm going to get, for example, let's say 3 to 4 heads. And then I'm going to get, let's say, 5 to 6 tails. And at the end of the day, that is going to trail, and by the end result is going to be 500 heads, 500 tails. Okay, but in the middle, we're going to have head streaks and tail streaks. Now, it would be stupid of me to receive 4 heads in a row and make $100 4 times, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm winning. I celebrate and I'm like, I'm in this winning streak. I'm making $100. Let's say in that case I would be losing, but let's say it was the other way around. I'm winning $100. Oh my god, that's very good. And I start celebrating it. It would be stupid. Why would it be stupid? Because I know that the output at the end of the day is BE. The output is BE. The fact that I'm in a head streak right now doesn't change the output, which is I'm going to have a BE result. I'm not going to make any money. Same thing for tails. If, let's say, I lose $100 5 to 6 times because it landed on tails 5 to 6 times in a row, then it would be stupid for me to mourn it or grieve it and to be like, oh my god, I'm so emotional. That system just caused me a 5 to 6 losing streak, and therefore I'm so emotional. Why? Because I know that by the end of this game, by the end of 1,000 flips, the output is going to be BE. So why the fuck am I grieving a micro event when the macro event, when the macro output is never changing? It is always going to be BE regardless of how many head streaks I get and how many tail streaks I get. At the end of 1,000 flips, I am going to get a BE result. And therefore it doesn't matter how many heads I get or how many tails I get in a row, because the end result will always be BE. Therefore, now, if I'm a stupid fuck, let's say, and I don't know that the coin flip system win rate is 50%, and therefore I cannot estimate that by the end of the game, it will be a BE result. If I lack this information right here, then what will end up happening is that every time I get 3 to 4 heads in a row or 5 to 6 tails in a row, I'm going to feel emotional. Why? Because I lack the knowledge that tells me that by the end of this game, it will be a BE result. So I keep predicting like, okay, I'm on 3 4 heads right now. That means that I'm going to make a lot of money and I'm going to become rich and all this shit. And if I'm in a losing streak, 5, 6 tails in a row, I'll be like, oh my God, I suck at this game and therefore I'm going to lose all my money and I'm going to panic. So the reason for my emotional instability is the lack of knowledge, right? I lack this knowledge right here, this and this one, the 50% one. I lack this information, and therefore, because I lack this information, it causes emotional instability. Now we can talk about the point that I'm here for, which is the reason why the majority of you guys are emotionally unstable when it comes to the chart. The reason why you feel like you need help psychologically, it is because you're ignorant. It is because you lack information. And because you lack that information, that ignorance, that lack of, makes you feel emotional. I'm going to give you multiple examples so I can prove it to you. Here's the thing. I had a student that came to the mentorship, and when I first interviewed him, he said that his biggest problem is that he would look at a chart, he would see a trade that is going on right now, and then as he sees that trade, he hesitates, he doesn't take it, and then the trade would run in his direction. And he said, that is my biggest problem. I have a good system, but I hesitate and I don't follow it, and therefore I become a loser, and therefore I need help psychologically. And I said, you don't need help psychologically. You're just ignorant of what a good setup is. That's it. Because let's say right now, theoretically, I tell you, guys, when you see 5 bullish candlesticks on the charts, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish candlesticks on the charts, let's say on the daily time frame, and you scale down to a 30 minutes time frame, and you see, let's say, an execution right there through to the upside where you can buy and place your TP up there. So as you see an execution right here, guys, this is a very high quality setup. It works the majority of the times, and I give you this picture and I print it on your wall and I put it there, and I'm like, this picture is a high quality picture. It works the majority of the time. If you see 5 bullish candlesticks on the daily time frame, this is such a high quality trade. It is higher in quality than all of the other trades. Guys, when you see this shit happening on the charts, the next time you sit down, you're trading in the morning, and you go to the daily time frame and you see 5 bullish candlesticks in a row, and then you see a 30 minutes execution, you are going to take it. You are not going to hesitate. So how did I eliminate your hesitation? I didn't sit there and I'm like, guys, you need to be more confident, give me a kiss. I didn't do that. I sat there and I gave you information. I told you, guys, this is what a good setup looks like. 1, 2, 3, exact picture. 5 bullish candlesticks on the daily time frame, 30 minutes execution. This is a high quality setup. You need to take it every time. When I taught you what a high quality setup is, when I showed you what a high quality setup is, now you can feel confident to take the trade. Now you will no longer hesitate when you see that trade. Why? Because I gave you the exact information necessary for you to not hesitate. That's it. So emotional instability in that case was solved not by me, as I said, sitting down and babysitting you and caressing your hair and telling you that everything is going to be all right. Emotional instability was fixed in that case by showing you information, by giving you knowledge. Knowledge solved this emotional instability. So the equation is that ignorance causes emotional instability. My handwriting is shit, but okay, we'll deal with it. Emotional instability, and then this emotional instability will cause behavioral instability. So all your revenge trading, your hesitation, all of that shit is caused by emotional instability. The problem is that the majority of traders work on this. They're like, I should no longer feel emotional instability, or maybe I should feel that emotional instability, but I shouldn't do anything about it. I should learn to ignore my emotions. No, the majority of the times you're ignorant of a certain aspect of trading, and that ignorance causes you to be emotionally unstable. When we go to a trading system, similarly to the coin flip system, I have a trading system, guys. The win rate of that system, let's say, is 65%. So I understand that after 100 trades, after I take 100 trades, I'm going to win 65 of my trades and I'm going to lose 35 of my trades and 35 losses. Now, I understand that this is the end results. Now, let's say that every trade usually makes me on average 2%. Let's say I'm just throwing out numbers here. And every loss costs me 1%. So therefore, by getting 100 trades, 65 trades, every trade is 2%, I'm going to make 130% of my wins. And for my 35 losses, I'm losing 1%, so I'm going to lose 35%. And therefore, the total result after 100 trades is going to be almost 95%. Those are my estimated results, estimation, after 100 trades. Why? Because I have my numbers. I have my statistics. I can look here and I can say, okay, I have a 65% win rate. Every win gives me a certain percentage and every loss gives me a certain percentage. Okay, after 100 trades, this is what I'm getting. I can calculate it and I can estimate it. And as a result of that estimation, it makes everything else not emotional. I don't give a shit if I'm in a winning streak. I don't consider myself a genius. Why? Because I understand that my system has a win rate over 1,000 trades, let's say. It has a win rate of 65%. And therefore, I don't give a shit if I'm in a 4 trades winning streak because I understand that after 100 trades, those are my results based on my numbers. And therefore, I don't give a shit if I'm in a winning streak. I don't give a shit if I'm in a losing streak. Why? Again, I'm in a 5 trades losing streak. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Why do I not care? Because I understand that after 100 trades, those are my estimated results because this is my win rate. I understand my numbers, I understand my win rate, and therefore I can estimate my results. And as a result of this estimation, I can know that a losing streak of 5 trades, it's not going to change the output. And therefore, if it's not going to change that output, then why do I give a shit? Why would I mourn a losing streak if I know that this is the output always after 100 trades? So I don't care. Also, when it comes to losing streak and winning streaks, there's another way to look at it. Like, I have traded my system for like years now, okay, 6, 7 years. I've been trading for 10 years. However, I wasn't using the system that I was using right now when I first started. Let's say I started using that system like 5 years ago or 6 years ago. I've been trading that system for 6 years. I can go back right now and look at my previous results and see what is my average or what is my maximum losing streak. So I can be like, okay, Roy, this is an information that exists right now in my head. Every quarter, so every 3 months, inside every 3 months, I have a losing streak of 6 trades in a row. I know this. I know that every quarter in my system, I have a 6 trades losing streak. So when that 6 trades losing streak shows up every quarter, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I'm not like, oh my God, losing streak. Like the world is crumbling. What should I do? I should change my trading system. No, I know that every 3 months, a losing streak occurs of 6 trades. And therefore, when it shows up, like inside my quarter, let's say January, February, March, and let's say January 15, I get a 6 trades losing streak. And I'm like, here we go. My 6 trades quarterly losing streak. Because I've seen it year over year over year over year. It happens. And therefore, I don't give a shit. So therefore, what causes my emotional stability? It is not that I am a strong human being capable of tolerating what you can't tolerate because I have amazing willpower and you are fucking weak and I am a strong, muscular, emotionally intelligent man. It's not because of that. The reason why I have emotional stability is because I have information that you don't. I know that every quarter I'll get a 6 trades losing streak. You don't. So if you're using my system and you don't know that piece of information, let's say, and a 6 trade losing streak occurs, you're like, oh my God, I'm in a 6 trades losing streak. The system is failing. What should I do? I should change my system. What the fuck is happening? And you panic. I don't panic because I know that that is the normal thing to happen because I've been trading it for years and I've seen the past data. Now, of course, you might be like, Roy, I don't have past data, so how can I know the information? You backtest, okay? I don't want to answer like very silly questions, but you backtest and you gather the history. And once you gather the history, you have information that you can use to possibly estimate to a certain degree of accuracy your future results. So you're not surprised when they show up. Every quarter, let's say, as well, I get like a winning streak of 5 to 6 trades or 7 trades or 8 trades, whatever it might be. I know that every quarter I get this. So when the winning streak shows up, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm a genius. This is an amazing time to trade and all that. And I just start talking about myself endlessly on social media about how a genius of a mind I am. I don't do that because I understand that every quarter I get like a winning streak. It's just part of the statistics, it's part of the distribution. It's just out there. So I know, I expect it, it is going to happen. And therefore, because I expect it, then I'm not surprised. And therefore, I don't emotionally react to things that I'm not surprised by. It's like I expect something and exactly my expectations are happening. So why the fuck would I feel anything? So that's it also when it comes to losing streak and winning streak. You don't solve your emotions by talking to yourself in a good way on the mirror. Like you sit right here in the mirror and you're like, okay, I'm a great trader, I'm a phenomenal trader, I'm a great man, I'm an emotionally stable man, I'm a grown up, I'm an adult. You don't do that. Like you like get over these problems by measuring your statistics and your numbers and reading in your data how much is your average losing streak and how much is your average winning streak. And once you obtain that information, you know what to expect. And therefore, when those expectations show up, you're like, I know that it happens every quarter, no problem. It doesn't affect the output. And then now you don't feel emotional about it. So it's information, not emotional meditation or whatever. So that's how I solve my emotional problems. The last thing that I want to say is the following, guys. How do you get profitable? How do I get to a place where you're profitable and you do it unemotionally as well? Here's the thing, guys. The road to profitability is the following. You create a system, okay, and that system usually sucks in the beginning when you create it because there's a lot of market conditions where you shouldn't execute that system in, but you are because you don't know that you shouldn't do that. And therefore you create a system and it usually sucks. So you trade it for a while and it sucks basically. The results are not very well. And therefore after a while you do what I call, and this is an iteration cycle. So this is one iteration basically. This is an iteration, the system sucked. Now right here, you read this previous data, what happened, why did you lose, why did you win, and you refine that system, okay? You refine it a little bit. So you change something because you're like, okay, for example, I'm losing the majority of the times when the weekly time frame prints two bearish candlesticks in a row, and then I try to take a bearish trade, it usually tends to fail. So therefore, I'm going to start avoiding trades that come after two weekly bearish candlesticks. So now you've done a small refinement. Then you go through your next iteration cycle. Okay, that is the next, you trade that system again. Now that system might still suck. Okay, so what you do is again, you look at why does it suck? What is happening? This is the second iteration. Second iteration, right here. Why does the system suck? You do the same thing. You refine it. You notice some things. Maybe you notice that, okay, you know what? When I take a trade, the market pushes in my direction almost 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio or 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, and then it comes back to my stop loss. So I would save a lot of losses by taking partials at 1-to-1 right here. So all these losses now turn into BE trades, let's say. And therefore, that way I save a lot of my losses and I become more profitable. Now you did your second refinement. You trade it again. This is your third iteration. Right here. Third iteration. Now, as you do that one more time, you might realize something else. You might realize, okay, there's a lot of my trades that basically hit the stop loss and then go in my direction. And that is happening for 30% of my losses. And therefore, I can save 30% of my losses by trailing my SL down. So by removing my SL from here into here, by increasing the size of my stop loss, then I would, let's say, become more profitable because I would save all these losses. Now you've added one more refinement. Now, as you add that refinement, you do one more iteration. And let's say this is where you reach profitability. So this is profitability. And you've done your fourth iteration. Okay. So each iteration, let's say, is 100 trades. And then you refine 100 trades, then you refine 100 trades, then you refine 100 trades, then you refine. Okay. So this is how you reach profitability. Yeah. Iteration, refinement, iteration, refinement, iteration, refinement, iteration, refinement, and then you reach profitability. And then you think you're done there, but you're not. I still iterate up until today, guys. Right now, even with profitability, I iterate. Again, iteration. So I take a bunch of trades, let's say for the month, for the full month, whatever number that is. Okay, let's say 20 trades, 8 trades, whatever number that is. Let's say 10 trades. And then I look back on them and I'm like, okay, this is what I noticed. Do I need to refine something? Do I need to change something? Is the market behavior changing? Do I need to maybe my stop loss is getting hit more than usual and then moving towards my TP. So maybe I need to re-increase the size of my stop loss. Or maybe the market is not making it down into even half of the stop loss. So maybe I need to decrease the stop loss. So I look at my data and I'm like, okay, what's happening? Why am I losing? Why am I winning? And then I decide, okay, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do anything, so no refinement. Because all is good and all is working well. And then I do another iteration. Now I look at the previous and previous data. So right here, I look at both of these. And I'm like, okay, is there anything to do here? Then I'm like, okay, yes, maybe there is. Maybe I should stop trading when the daily time frame prints 3 bullish candlesticks in a row, because those are now tending to fail. Now I've added a refinement. Again, so and you continue, and this is how you sustain profitability. Now, why am I saying this? Why am I telling you this? Because the majority of people right here, they do one iteration, they're like, the system sucks, let me look for another one. And they look for another one. And you never become profitable because you're continuously on this trial and error journey. You're like, okay, I'll finally find my trading system somewhere. And it's like, no, do more iterations, do more refinements, and this is how you reach profitability. But the majority of you are not going to go past the second iteration. That's why you can't become profitable. So therefore, guys, by iterating, you reach profitability. The second reason why I'm telling you this, it's because people suck right here and then they get very emotional. They're like, oh my God, I suck. Maybe I can become a profitable trader. And it's like, sucking is what gives you that refinement, which makes you better, which finally makes you attain profitability. So it's like, because you suck, as a result of you sucking, you receive a refinement. And as a result of receiving that refinement, you tend to get profitable. So it's like you're mad at the thing that will guide you there. It's like, this is the information that you're missing out right now. That is the knowledge that you don't have. You think I suck is an insult. It is not an insult. I suck, and therefore, or my trading system is behaving in a manner that I don't want it to behave. Okay, and therefore I can look at this data and then I can make it profitable by refining it. And therefore, right here, it is not the time to get emotional. You're getting an emotional about something that will produce a refinement that will make you profitable. Stop getting emotional about it. Instead, be curious. That is the right emotion to feel. Get curious about you sucking. Get curious about you losing. You're like, I'm losing. Why is that happening? That is my second iteration of sucking, of losing. Why is that happening? Get curious about it, and you being curious about it and analyzing it will generate the refinement that will make you profitable. So when you suck, you feel right emotional instability, you feel negative emotion because you don't know how will that help you. But if you knew how will that help you and you got curious instead, then you would get to other results. So what is the difference between someone who gets emotionally unstable, angry, revenge trades and all that, and someone who is curious about the charts? It's information. That's it. It is not that one of them is stronger than the other or emotionally more stable. It is simply that the guy that revenge trades doesn't understand that his losses are the secret to unlocking profitability, while the guy that doesn't revenge trades gets curious about his trades and goes ahead and analyzes them, understands that these losses are the secret to his upcoming profitability. And therefore, this piece of information pushes one person. The lack of this information pushes one person to revenge trade, but the existence of this information pushes the other trader to get curious, to refine in order to reach profitability. And therefore, guys, this is how you reach trade and profitability. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know if you enjoyed it so I create more of it. It was a really quick video and really easy one to film. So anyway, see you guys soon.